Desire outwits Mother Nature. Dear Luna, I cried while reading this chapter. I thought I was about to read another lesson about desire. Instead, I found one of the greatest stories of a father's love I have ever read. Napoleon Hill tells the story of his own son, who was born without ears. The doctors believed the child would never hear or speak, but his father refused to accept that as the final answer. He made a decision that day, not out loud, only in his own heart. He decided, "My son will hear and speak." Then I came across this sentence, and I hope I never forget it. Our only limitations are those we set up in our own minds. As I read those words, I thought of you. When you were born at only 27 weeks, there were moments when fear tried to enter my mind. Sometimes the enemy whispered that you would not survive. When those thoughts came, I had to choose what I would believe. Again and again, I had to bring my mind back to hope, back to faith. Hill never pretended the journey was easy. He simply refused to stop believing. He wrote, "Desire backed by faith knows no such word as impossible." That sentence stayed with me, not because it promises an easy life, but because it reminds me that faith gives desire the strength to keep going. One of my favorite lines in the entire book is this: "Every adversity brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage." At first, those words can be hard to believe. How could something painful ever become a blessing? Hill wondered the same thing, yet he kept believing. He kept speaking hope to his son. Every single day, he renewed the promise he had made to himself. He looked for every small sign of progress. When his son responded to music, when he discovered bone conduction, when one tiny step appeared, he treated each one as hope. Then Hill quoted a hymn I have loved for many years. "God moves in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform." Sometimes we do not understand what God is doing. Sometimes we only understand years later. As I continued reading, I realized this story was never only about hearing. It was about refusing to surrender. Years later, Hill wrote these amazing words. Truly, he had come into possession of a changed world. He believed that by refusing to give up, and by persistent desire, they had found the practical means that changed his son's life. Then something unexpected happened. A hearing device reached his son. While speaking with an engineer, Hill's son suddenly received what Hill called a hunch, an idea, or an inspiration. Call it what you wish. That single thought became the beginning of something much bigger. Instead of thinking only about himself, he found a way to help thousands of other people who were hard of hearing. His greatest hardship became his greatest service. Hill later wrote something that deeply touched me, that nothing is impossible to the person who backs desire with enduring faith. I stopped reading for a moment. Those words felt bigger than business, bigger than money. They speak to every impossible situation we face in life. Then Hill says something that has stayed with me ever since. "I have no doubt that a burning desire has devious ways of transmuting itself into its physical equivalent. And later, there is nothing, right or wrong, which belief plus burning desire cannot make real. These qualities are free to everyone." Near the end of the chapter, Hill reveals what he believes made the difference. He gives 3 simple facts. First, I mixed faith with the desire for normal hearing. Second, I communicated my desire to him in every conceivable way available, through persistent, continuous effort, over a period of years. Third, he believed me. I had to stop reading again. Those 3 sentences are so simple, but they changed the way I see faith. Faith is not only something we believe in our hearts, it is something we live every day. It is something we speak, something we repeat, something we refuse to let go of. Then Hill closes the chapter with one final lesson that brings everything together. He writes, "I wish to convey the thought that all achievement, no matter what its nature or purpose, must begin with an intense, burning desire for something definite." He continues by saying that through some mysterious power of the mind, nature seems to recognize a strong desire that accepts no such word as impossible. That is exactly what this entire chapter has been teaching. Not wishful thinking, not pretending life is easy, but choosing a desire so strong that it refuses to surrender. And perhaps my favorite sentence in this entire chapter is this: our only limitations are those we set up in our own minds. Dear Luna, One day, you will face challenges that seem impossible. People may tell you what cannot be done. Your circumstances may try to convince you to give up. When that day comes, I hope you remember this story. Mix faith with your desire. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Because I believe this with all my heart. Nothing is impossible to the person who backs desire with enduring faith.